Meeting the Amherst Township Trustees called to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Abraham?
Here.
Lynch?
Here.
Eurig?
Yes.
And I am also here. I have the meeting minutes from the September 26, 2023 regular meeting of the Amherst Township Trustees. The meeting was called to order at 7:05 p.m. by Lynch with pledge to the flag. Roll call was Abraham, Lynch, and Eurig were present. Kish was absent. Also in attendance was Case Marsh and G. Lynch. 9/8/23, a motion by Abraham, seconded by Eurig, to move to approve the September 12, 2023 regular meeting minutes as read. All ayes. 9/9/23, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Eurig. Move to approve the financial reports and payment of items on the payment listing with reservation as provided by the fiscal officer. All ayes. Under correspondence, Trustee Lynch read correspondence from OTA regarding a webinar subscription for 2024. Also received correspondence regarding a lawsuit filed by Cleveland Communications against Lorain County Commissioners. Under reports, under ambulance service, Trustee Lynch reported a request for proposal has been issued by the Sandstone Joint Ambulance District. Proposals are due by November 8th, 2023. A special ambulance board meeting has been scheduled for Thursday, November 16th, 2023 at 4 p.m. at the Amherst City Fire Station. Under zoning, Zoning Inspector Sam D'Ambrosio was unable to attend tonight's meeting, and Trustee Lynch reported that Commercial Chief Building Official Thomas Horseman needs a plumbing inspector. Trustee Lynch will contact the county prosecutor and Lorain County Public Health regarding a replacement. Trustee Eurig contacted one individual, but they are not interested in the vacant Amherst Township architect position. Trustee Abraham will contact another individual to gauge his interest in the position. Trustee Lynch requested that the prosecutor be contacted by Trustee Eurig about what to do for site plans when the township has no architect. Trustee Lynch discussed potential changes to zoning text. On Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023, there will be a continuation of the public hearing on the proposed rezoning of 45 acres located east of Oberlin Road and south of State Route 113 from RAG to R1. Roads, Parks, and Cemeteries, Road Superintendent Smarsh reported that the concrete repair equipment should arrive this week. Still doing crack sealing. Trustee Lynch reported that the public bidding threshold for road repair was increased to $105,000 effective June 30th, 2023. Phase 2 Lorco, Cinnamon Lake connected to Force Main, old wastewater treatment plant being demolished. Under complaints, they are being handled by the designated individual. 4 new complaints were added: drainage concerns at 214 Rustic Hill, smell at 45299 Old Middle Ridge Road, road complaint at 214 Rustic Hill, and ATV complaint on Laurel Lane. Trustee Eurig reported that the street lights at 6801 Hidden Valley, 420 Oaknell, and 6601 Rosedale are on the list to be repaired by Ohio Edison. No date for the repair was given. The next regularly scheduled meeting will be Tuesday, October 10th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Amherst Township Hall. 9/10/23, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Abraham, to adjourn at 8:17 p.m. All ayes.
Are there any changes or corrections to the September 26th meeting minutes?
I have none.
We can have a motion to approve then as presented.
Wait a minute. I do have one. I apologize. Under complaints, second to last paragraph or middle paragraph,
Yeah, I
the
already did that.
one little correction, typo. These streetlights. Okay. I make a motion then to approve them.
Second my motion.
I'll second. Who made the motion?
I did.
Okay, as corrected?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll second then.
Abraham?
Yes.
Eurig?
Yes.
Lynch?
Yes.
Great. And I have the financials are in front of you. You have your payment listing, which everything is pretty boilerplate, normal bills. Again, if the OPERS payment is voided because there was a penny difference, so I had to adjust it.
And the overall revenues, if we receive the stormwater and OPWC, will be pretty close to the estimate of what the original budget was.
Yeah. Our year-to-date revenue is $1,479,586.80, and our expenditures are $830,880.65.
And the only thing I can say on that, Chris, I don't, OPWC will receive the stormwater. There's still, the issue with the easements, and I can't tell you where that stands right now because I know there's personnel in the Lorraine County Stormwater District office that are handling that. And the difficulty is the one individual is out of state that they need to get the signatures for an easement. And you had in here also, Chris, that transfer to Star Ohio, and I neglect, do you recall what Star Ohio's rate is today?
I do not. I did not get a message today like I usually.
Okay. All right, that's the only question I had.
Okay. Look at people.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports and the payment listing, all the payments on the payment listing with reservation.
Lynch?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.
Urick?
Yes.
The number on that, Chris?
10-2.
All right, Chris, there anything else there?
No, not with financials.
All right, I don't see any residents here, so we'll move on to correspondence and announcements.
I just have one question under bills. Do we have the credit card soon?
Second meeting.
Okay. You need one from last month also?
I thought it was in there last month.
No.
There wasn't one.
Okay, I will look.
Credit cards twice. Okay. And where else are we? That's it.
Correspondence, I made you a copy, each of you a copy, and also Linda, the letter we received from the Lorraine County Commissioners regarding the 200th bicentennial celebration that will take place on May 24th of 2024. And they are asking for items from each of the cities, townships, and villages for their time capsule.
And what we might send to them, Chris, I mean, it's up to the other trustees, but maybe some of our newsletters, we may take some of, like we've got the 100-year farm families in the township, putting in something that 50 years from now, might make somebody excited to see if that's when they're opening it, which is what this document says. So if anyone has anything else they want to include, that's
Pictures are
fine.
iffy. They should be black and white because they hold up better than color.
Yeah. Yeah, according to this document, the county's going to provide acid-free envelopes to try and protect this stuff, but, 50 years from now, let's see, Kevin might still be here.
I won't.
Yeah, the rest of us will be gone.
You're lucky to make it the next week.
All right, that's it, Chris?
That's all I have.
All right, David?
I have nothing to bring forward at this time.
All right, Denny?
I have nothing also.
Okay, I do have one announcement, and it's opposed to handling under zoning we'll do now. And by the way, Sam D'Ambrosio, our zoning inspector, did indicate that he wouldn't be here this evening. But I do have a public notice that I had sent to you guys, and I hope you've looked it over and verified that this is accurate. What this is the public notice for the trustees' public hearing on a map amendment request by the property owners. This is for approximately 45 acres on the east side of Oberlin Road, south of State Route 113. This is the property owners have this right now. There's a organization called Cambridge Services. The person that's been showing up here, who's one of the principals in there, David Kohler, has options to purchase those the two parcels that total about 45 acres. And he's proposed a rezoning from RAG to R1 with a conservation development overlay of 65 homes in that particular development. The zoning commission did approve this. So the township has to set our public hearing, which I'm setting for 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, October 24th. That'll allow us, if we get this sent to the Chronicle Legals this evening, and Linda, I'm going to ask you if you can either scan it and email it to them. But if we do that tonight, you know, within 2 days, they'll have it printed. But if you want to let me know if everything looks good, we'll just go ahead and have this posted with all the documentation in our outside bulletin board. It'll also be available in the zoning inspector's office for review, particularly since someone can take the ones in the outside bulletin board. We can't prevent that pilferage, but and we'll just plan to have that particular public hearing on, again, 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, October 24th. I did try to reach this Mr. Kohler, let him know, but was unable to reach him, and I left a message to give me a return call. Does everything look okay there?
Yes.
Everything look okay, David?
It reads well, yeah, everything's okay,
Okay.
what I can see.
Okay. All right, that's it then for correspondence. We'll move on to reports. Ambulance service, Denny?
I have nothing.
Do you want to mention the special meeting on November 16th at the fire station, review any proposals received?
November the 16th.
Yes. This is the one, you have the copy that was in the Chronicle on September 28th and also on October 5th on the solicitation of bids for ambulance service.
It's November the 16th.
Yes, the special meeting will be on November 16th,
At what time?
and that'll be at 4 o'clock p.m. at the Amherst Fire Station. That'll be reviewing the proposals that have been submitted from service providers that are due by November 8th. Okay. Make sure it's not here. Here, okay, we'll move on to roads, parks, and cemeteries. Superintendent Smarsh.
Typical mowing and trimming at the parks and cemeteries. We did get a round of roadside mowing in last week. Hidden Valley was poured on Monday. The concrete patch that we were doing on Hidden Valley Drive, and on Cobblestone, as of tomorrow, Wednesday, the 11th, half of Cobblestone will be poured. And we did a couple of catch basin repairs. And I neglected to let you know the fourth Tuesday of September that the chip and seal program, they came in and they chip and sealed Broadway, Taylor, and Tenney.
How they look?
Great.
Okay.
They're already swept as well.
Have to get down there, and hopefully the residents like it, because it definitely needed it.
There was obviously there's going to be a scotch of dust. They put down just about the perfect amount of stone. And of course there was just a scotch of dust, but as long as people were driving decently, it ended up working out good. And we had a rain, real quickly after that, kept the dust down, they got it swept up. I had not gotten one complaint.
Yeah, just the way those roads are laid out, it's hard for anyone to go speeding through unless they're a real knucklehead.
Correct.
It's different than like Bechtel. We get the complaints when we do Bechtel, but it's like a thoroughfare, and they really get it going down there.
Yeah, but with that asphalt leveling, and then with the chip and seal on there, it turned out real well.
Great.
Yeah, we got a couple of sewer repairs we're gonna be working on here. And, typical maintenance, we had a little bit of a issue with the backhoe, but we got that taken care of. And, that's just about all I have.
Okay, are there any questions for Kevin?
Are you gonna do another lane on Hidden Valley Drive, another side, or are we just doing that one side?
We're just doing that one side for right now.
One section right there. What about- And cobblestone, the same?
Yep, the cobblestone will be that whole curve. The inner side gets poured tomorrow, and then once that,
That's up?
sets up, then they're gonna do the outside of the curve.
Yeah,
And we put the, big expansion in there for that curve, so help out, because there was those problems we had a few years back, that expansion.
Those expansion joints, they're expensive.
Mhm.
Okay, is that it, David?
Yeah, that's it. That's
There's only
the scope of that.
one other item, and Kevin, you've been copied on this consistently, is now that we've received the first draw of requests from Erie Blacktop for the repaving of Oberlin Road, is requesting where the $67,000 is for the county's portion on that road. All I can say is I'm getting no response to the constant query, but, originally it was, what do you need to release the funds, and expecting it to be an invoice, and since we just received the invoice for part of it, we submitted that, but, I haven't heard anything. So I'll stay on that, and obviously Chris needs to know, because we've got to make our payment too, and, Linda, can you work with OPWC, or do you want to wait till we get the full payment for their portion? Because they can do draws, but I know that makes a second one, and you got
Yeah.
to keep track of it.
It's easier if we do it at the end and we do
Okay.
it as one lump sum, as a final draw, than it is to do multiple smaller ones.
Is there any way, and not that we're rushing somebody to make payment, but just to get us so Linda can get the OPWC request, could you have a contact at Erie Blacktop to say, hey, can you send in the full amount since it's done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to wait until we get money from the county?
Well, that'd be
Or-
ideal, but we've got to, these guys should get paid at the bare minimum. We can make our payment. I have to calculate that because of the proportionality.
Okay.
The difference of what the actual was versus the engineer's estimate. But I mean, how that's just math. And, so that they've at least got that to help cover materials.
Okay. Yep.
All right, Township Administrator Linda Ashley.
It's going to be open enrollment time here, coming up on October 15th through December 7th for Medicare. I already have 2 appointments for people that have called to come in and do comparisons. I had a webinar today, and Morgan seems to be eager to learn the Medicare, so I'm kind of letting her sit in on some of the things to kind of ease her into some of the different aspects of the office. In the meantime, her and I have been going through a bunch of old files and paperwork and trying to organize things, and we will have a whole list on the RC. I don't know if it's going to be probably 2, RC2 or RC3, for disposal. We have a bunch of stuff in the back room there for disposal, but those are all duplicates, so we can get rid of that.
Ready for shredding day.
Ready for shredding day. We'll probably have to have Lorraine County Solid Waste come out with a truck, because they said they would come out to our area to pick it up for government. So we've already got, I think, 6 boxes back there, and we still have a lot more to go through.
Okay.
So, she's working out really well. She's very, very helpful.
Good.
Other than that, it's just paperwork, like you said, the OPWC stuff, and we did send in for the stormwater reimbursement, the $7,500 grant for both projects for $15,000. I did not get a chance to communicate with them again. I want to send a reminder email to see when we're going to get that, and I'll send maybe a little reminder for the $67,000 too.
Yeah.
Trying to get some of our money back. That's about it.
Are there any questions for
No,
Linda?
I have no.
Thanks, Linda.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move on to the unfinished business. For those items that are assigned to a particular individual, do you have anything to report there?
Oh, right now.
Well, David, there is for solid waste, and I put a copy in here so you're aware, is the pre-bid meeting, which is an optional meeting for those that are soliciting bids, is October 23rd at 1 o'clock, conference room D of the County Administration Building. Again, that's October 23rd at 1 o'clock, conference room D of the County Administration Building. And then the bid opening will be on Monday, November 20th at 3 o'clock p.m. You know, that's the bids are due by 3 o'clock p.m. on that Monday, but they'll be opened immediately after that in conference room D. And I know on our past ones, they pretty much have them there and open them up, and every bidder, this is one of the few bids I've seen where every bidder usually shows up. See what the final is, but these are obviously, with 13 communities participating, and particularly Avon Lake being the largest, you know, it's in over 5 years, it's a high dollar contracts that, and high dollars that they're bidding on. And then, as we know before, we've got it the way the Amherst Township portion is ours. We've got our 2 manufactured home communities are there as an option where they can decide when their existing agreements with their waste and recycling providers ends, they'll have the option of joining on with the township's overall whoever service provider we select based on the best and lowest bid. You know what? I skipped complaints. I knew there was something there. That's what I missed. Sorry about that. No, Sam's not here, so I'm going to skip that one. David, the one with the street light requested for Old Middle Ridge.
Still waiting on the estimate from Ohio Edison, and have nothing to update on that. But it's still in the process.
Okay.
So.
Then the one complaining about the odors there on Old Middle Ridge, I know Sam's been right on top of that. And we know with the way the weather's going to change, that if the odor is what people suspect it is, it's going to go away just because of the cold weather. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be correct.
Be back next year.
Yeah, so it needs to be corrected.
Is that the one with Tracy Clark? Chris Cooper?
No,
Chris
this is
Cooper?
Mr. and Mrs. Johns, the Cowgers, the Carsicks, so there's been 3 different ones complaining, but it's the same thing. The next one, this was the one you're talking about, is probably the Stitax over in Copper Creek, and they were questioning, there was a home that was damaged by a fire at 424 Kestrel Way. They want to know what can be done to get that moving along. This happened back in March of this year. And I'd done some research on that, sent that to our fire prevention officer, Chris Nyhart. Chris has gotten back to me on this through an email. And I did leave a message with Mr. Stitak on this. I haven't heard back from him. We do expect that the way it looks is that that is going to start getting, you know, it's always these long delays with insurance and whatnot. And there was a recent transfer from within the family for ownership of the home, but every expectation is it is going to be taken care of and repaired. You know, obviously there are high dollar homes back there too in a nice area, but it's just been taking time. When Mr. Stitak does get back to me, because he did question what's the process for their homeowners association, and I don't know if he's part of the board of the homeowners association, just asking as a resident back there, but I'm going to tell him check with your leadership, because some of the information that Chris and I discussed is pretty much private and privileged, so it's not something we can put in writing. But the homeowners association leadership certainly can contact the owners at 424 Kestrel and ask and see if they're willing to provide that information. There was one that's not on here only because it just came up at the last meeting, and that was with the complaints from the residents in the Pinehurst development of the off-road equipment driving around in what we always call the Overland Road Quarry, but it goes back there. Linda has responded to that on email. I don't recall if you sent that to everyone, but I know that's really something they need to contact the sheriff. The people that had sent the complaint, they were provided with a copy of our noise ordinance and also a copy with the Ohio Revised Code section that deals with off-road, operation of off-road vehicles like that and what the requirements are. Sorry about getting out of order there. Okay, I should have had it on here. I didn't, but there is the NOPEC has set their annual meeting date. I didn't put it down on the agenda yet, but I did receive an email from NOPEC. They're no longer going to mail out the paper documents as far as when they're having their annual meeting. So I will forward that email on to people, but essentially this is where by proxy we usually send in if we're approving the budget, approving the past minutes and what's going on. We send that ahead of time, but then if you show up in person, you can change your vote and vote right there. But what they usually want is first to have it sent in by proxy, even if you plan on being there, because they obviously need a quorum in order to conduct business. And so I'll take care of that because it's always assigned to the chair of the community, so I'll get that done. I do plan on attending. I typically do. There was during the COVID situation, I did go. I missed one of the virtual meetings. The other one I was on, but it was kind of an odd meeting when there were that many people on with the virtual meeting, but it worked. But I'll get that forwarded so that you guys know what the date is, because the other elected officials are welcome to attend. They are going to cover some of the programs that are available to businesses and residents, and I don't know if there's anything new, but that will be discussed at that meeting. Okay. All right, is there any new business?
No new business.
All right, our next regularly scheduled meeting will be on Tuesday, October 24th at 7 o'clock p.m. Keep in mind at 7:30 p.m. there will be the trustees' public hearing on the zoning amendment. And, Kevin, do you have any need for a work session? All right. Is there any need for an executive session?
I have nothing right now.
Okay. Is there any other business?
No,
And can I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
Abraham,
Yes.
Euring,
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.